In relationships, it's easy to get lost in the warmth of sweet words, flirtatious gestures, and fleeting moments that make you feel special. But as time passes, you might begin to wonder, is this love? Or is it simply a series of comforting illusions designed to keep you hooked without truly fulfilling your needs? It's a question many of us have faced, whether in the early stages of a relationship or after years of connection. Too often, we find ourselves holding on to the hope that things will change, that the love we're giving will be returned with the same depth, commitment, and consistency. We accept the signs we're given, often ignoring the contradictions that lurk beneath the surface. When someone makes us feel good, we convince ourselves that we're being loved. But love isn't always in the grand gestures or the fleeting moments of attention. Sometimes it's hidden in the details. It's in how someone shows up when it's hard, how they listen when you speak, and how they act when the excitement fades. There's a difference between feeling wanted and feeling safe, a difference between being told you're special and actually being treated with the respect and care that builds lasting trust. Unfortunately, many of us find ourselves in relationships where these crucial elements are missing. We may receive compliments, sweet words, and promises of a future together, but those gestures don't always translate to the actions that create true emotional security. The truth is, love isn't something you should just hope for. It's something you deserve, and it should be built on clear actions, not just empty promises. If you're constantly feeling like you're the only one trying, or if the affection you receive is disconnected from any real commitment, it's time to take a step back and reflect. Are you truly in a relationship where you're valued, or are you simply holding on to the idea of what could be, rather than what actually is? In this exploration of 12 signs he is falling for you, or maybe you're just hoping too hard, we'll dive into the subtle but telling patterns that can leave you questioning your partner's true feelings. Each sign reveals a critical red flag, and though it may hurt to face these truths, it's necessary for your emotional health and growth. Because the longer you stay in a relationship where you're not truly seen, heard, or valued, the harder it becomes to step away and reclaim the love you deserve. Whether it's the sweet morning text that fades by afternoon, or the promises of the future that never get put into action, these signs point to a bigger issue: the difference between real love and the illusion of love. Understanding these signs can empower you to make choices that honor your worth, protect your heart, and lead you toward relationships where love isn't just a word. It's a consistent, lived experience. As you read through these signs, ask yourself, are these the signs of love, or just a reflection of my own hopes and desires? And remember, you deserve more than just the hope of love. You deserve the real thing, one. He texts you good morning, but disappears by afternoon. At first, it feels sweet. That good morning text lights up your screen and your heart. You smile. You tell yourself, he's thinking about me first thing in the day. And maybe he is. But then, nothing. Hours pass. Your phone stays silent. No check-ins, no follow-ups, not even a quick, "How's your day going?" It's like you were a thought, fleeting, convenient, not someone he's truly invested in. That morning message starts to feel more like a habit, or worse, a performance, a way to keep you hooked, just enough to believe he cares. But love doesn't clock out by lunchtime. If someone is falling for you, they make time. They stay curious about your mood, your work stress, that thing you said yesterday. They want to be part of your day, not just the opening act. So ask yourself, is he really showing love or just sending breadcrumbs? Because a good morning text means nothing if it's not backed by presence, effort, and consistency. Don't fall in love with potential. Fall in love with energy that shows up, even after the sun is high in the sky. 2. He listens, but never really hears you. You speak, and he nods. He's there, technically. Maybe he even responds, "Oh, that sucks," or "You'll be fine." But it's surface level. His eyes might drift, his replies feel automatic, and hours or days later, it's like your words never mattered. You open up about something close to your heart, and it disappears into the void. Listening isn't just about being quiet while someone talks. It's about presence. It's about connection. When someone hears you, they remember, they reflect, they bring it up later because it stayed with them. They care. If you said you're anxious about something, they check in. If you shared a dream, they root for it. But when he just listens to respond, not to understand, you're left feeling emotionally alone, even when you're right next to him. And the worst part, you start shrinking. You stop sharing. You convince yourself, maybe you're asking for too much. But real love doesn't make you feel like a background noise. You deserve someone who doesn't just hear your voice, but feels your words, remembers your heart, and makes you feel like you matter every single time. 3. He compliments your smile, but never asks why you're sad. He tells you you're beautiful, that your smile lights up the room, and for a second, you believe it. You force the corners of your lips up, even when your heart's heavy, because it feels good, to be seen, to be desired. But underneath that compliment, there's silence. He doesn't ask what's behind your eyes. He doesn't notice the weight you're carrying just beneath the surface. It's easy to admire someone's smile. It's harder and rarer to ask what's hiding behind it. Real love isn't just about praising the version of you that's polished and glowing. It's about showing up when your light is dim. It's about noticing the shift in your tone, the pause in your laugh, the way your eyes drop when you think no one's looking. It's asking, "Hey, are you okay?" And actually meaning it. So when he tells you you're beautiful, ask yourself, does he love your joy, or does he care about your pain too? Because anyone can compliment your smile, but the one who truly loves you, he'll care enough to ask why it's fading. Want to move on to number 4? We're building something powerful here. 4. He remembers your birthday, but forgets how you felt last week. He shows up with flowers, maybe even a gift. He posts a sweet story with your picture, adds a heart emoji, and for a day, it feels like you matter, like he's paying attention, like you're being celebrated. But love isn't measured in one-day performances. It's in the days between. And last week, when you were anxious, overwhelmed, or quietly breaking down, he didn't check in. He didn't ask how that meeting went. He didn't follow up on the thing you said in passing that clearly meant a lot. Because he wasn't really listening. He wasn't really there. Remembering your birthday is easy. Social media does that. But remembering your feelings, that takes intention, presence, emotional effort. Love isn't about grand gestures that happen once a year. It's about the small ones that show up when no one else does. The ones that say, "I heard you, I saw you, you're not alone." So when he celebrates your birthday, ask yourself, does he remember the day, or does he remember you? Because your heart deserves more than a calendar notification. 5. He shows up, but only when it's easy. He's there for the dates, the selfies, the late-night laughs. When the vibe is light, when you're glowing, when it's convenient, he's all in. He'll hold your hand in public, text back fast when he's bored, maybe even say he misses you when the night feels lonely. And for a moment, it feels real. But the second things get hard, he fades. If you're overwhelmed, emotional, or not your fun self, he pulls away. Suddenly he's too busy, too tired, too unavailable. He doesn't want to deal with drama, even if it's just your truth. Because he's not in love with you. He's in love with the version of you that's easy to handle. Real love shows up in the mess. It stays through mood swings, tough conversations, and growing pains. It doesn't run at the first sign of discomfort. If he's only present when the sun's out, but ghosts you when clouds roll in, that's not love. That's convenience. So ask yourself, does he show up when it matters, or only when it's effortless? Because love that leaves when it's hard was never really there to begin with. 6. He flirts, but never defines what this is. He's sweet with his words, playful with his tone. He sends the late-night texts, the heart emojis, the wish you were here snaps. He calls you babe or my person in private, and it's enough to make you wonder. Is this something real? But when you ask, directly or even softly, he dodges. He'll say, let's not rush, or why label it? He'll assure you that he likes you, but avoids any clear definition. And you're stuck in the grey area, half claimed, half dismissed. Because flirting is easy. It gives just enough to keep your heart hoping, but not enough to keep it safe. And when someone's truly falling for you, they don't let you sit in confusion. They choose clarity. They make it known. They want you to feel secure, not unsure. So if he's all charm but no clarity, you have to ask, are you in love with how he makes you feel? Or with who he actually is? Because love doesn't play hide and seek. It stands in the open, clear, honest, and intentional. 7. He touches you, but never reaches your heart. His hands know your skin, but not your soul. He kisses you like he means it, and maybe in the moment, it even feels like love. But when the touch fades and the silence settles in, so does the emptiness. Because connection isn't built in the heat of a moment. It's built in what lingers after. He might hold you close, but does he hold your fears, your dreams, your stories? He knows your body, but does he know what keeps you up at night? What makes you feel safe? What breaks you and what builds you? Touch can feel intimate, but without emotional depth, it becomes hollow, a performance, a habit, a way to keep you close without ever actually letting you in. Real love doesn't stop at your body. It moves through your heart, your mind, your history. It seeks to understand, not just to feel. It's not about how close he can get to you. It's about how deeply he chooses to stay once he's there. Because being touched isn't the same as being seen. 8. He calls you mine, but you still feel alone. The word mine sounds warm, like belonging, like safety. When he says it, your heart wants to believe it, that you're chosen, that you're his. But what does it really mean if you're constantly second-guessing where you stand? He claims you in words, but not in presence, not in consistency, not in the quiet moments when you need him most. He introduces you as his girl, but leaves you out of plans. He texts, I miss you, but doesn't show up when you ask for time. You're in a situationship dressed up as something more, and deep down, you know it. The loneliest place isn't being single. It's being someone's and still feeling unseen, still holding back tears alone, still wondering if you're asking for too much, when all you really want is to feel loved out loud. Mine is just a word, unless it's backed by action, effort, and depth. And if you're feeling lonely in someone else's arms, maybe it's time to ask, are you really his? Or are you just there until something easier comes along? 9. He says he misses you, but his actions don't. The message pops up, I miss you. 3 little words that make your heart skip, that pull you right back in. It feels like maybe, just maybe, he still cares, that you still matter. But then, nothing changes. He doesn't make plans to see you. He doesn't call. He doesn't show up when it counts. And suddenly, I miss you starts to feel like a phrase he uses to keep you close without ever being close. It's a placeholder, a hook, a way to stir your emotions just enough to stop you from walking away. Because if someone truly misses you, they move, they make time, They don't let you go to bed wondering where you stand. They show you, with presence, with consistency, with effort. Love doesn't just speak, it follows through. So if his words are full but his actions are empty, ask yourself, does he miss you, or does he just miss the way you made him feel? Because missing someone should sound like effort, not excuses. 10. He gives you hope, but no commitment. He fills you with possibilities. He talks about the future, about dreams, about what could be. He says all the right things to make you believe that one day things will be different, that maybe, just maybe, he's waiting for the right moment to commit. And in that moment, you feel like you're standing on the edge of something real, something lasting. But then, nothing changes. He gives you hope, but that's all. He doesn't take action. He doesn't offer you clarity. You're stuck, caught between the words he said and the reality of where you stand. The future he paints never quite materializes. And slowly, you begin to realize, hope without commitment is just a dream. Love isn't a promise of someday. It's the decision to act today, to show up with intention, to make choices that match your words. And if all he gives you is a glimpse of the future, but never the real present connection, you have to ask yourself, how long can you live on maybe when your heart needs a now? Because commitment isn't about waiting, it's about making things real. Today. 11. He talks about the future, but avoids planning it with you. He speaks about all the things you could do together, the trips you could take, the house you could build, the dreams you could chase. He paints a picture of tomorrow that feels so real, so perfect, that for a moment you think it's already set in stone. You start to imagine a life with him, a future that feels shared. But when you ask him about actual plans, about dates, about where you're going, about what this is, he hesitates. He dodges. He keeps the future in the air, as if it's something far away, too distant to define. And with every sidestep, you realize he's okay with the idea of you in his future, but not the reality of building it with you now. Love doesn't just talk about the future, it works on it today. It takes steps, it makes real decisions. And if someone can talk about forever, but never actually plan for it, it's time to ask, does he really see you in his life? Or is he just keeping you as a possibility, something to dream about but never make real? Because love isn't a distant hope, it's a present choice. 12. He makes you feel special, but never safe. He says you're amazing, that you're one in a million. He makes you feel like you're the most important person in the world when he's around. The compliments flow, the gestures are sweet, and for a moment, you truly believe that he sees you, that he chooses you. But the moment the spark fades, so does the feeling of safety. You're walking on eggshells, always uncertain of where you stand. One day he's warm, the next he's distant. One moment he's open, the next he's closed off. And in those moments, the compliments feel hollow. The special part of you starts to feel more like a fragile thing, at risk of shattering when the next storm hits. Real love isn't about being made to feel special in flashes. It's about feeling safe in every moment. Safe in the honesty, safe in the space you share, safe knowing that no matter what, they'll stand by you. Because if love only makes you feel special when things are easy, but never makes you feel safe in your vulnerability, it's not love. It's uncertainty. So ask yourself, is he making you feel special to keep you around? Or is he making you feel safe so you can truly be yourself? Because love is about more than just flattery. It's about trust, security, and the freedom to truly belong.